Straight ahead on this week's Falcon Fever.
The baseball team took on a tough opponent over the weekend. We'll show you how they did. And
Montevallo's athletic director has come up with a plan to help bring academics and athletics a little bit closer. Coming up, I'll show you how.
And the men's basketball team faced a top conference rival. Find out if they stayed atop the Western Division. You know what time it is. Hello everyone, and welcome into another exciting episode of Falcon Fever. I'm RJ Sievertsgaard alongside Casey Beasley.
we're glad you're with us. Today we'll bring you a variety of sports, but first we start with baseball. As the guys took on Stillman on the 7th, and they had the bats going early for this one. Stillman gave up 16 Montevallo base hits in the matchup. Andrew Hill had most arguably the most productive day. He went 3 for 4 from the plate with 3 RBIs and 2 runs scored. He also swiped 2 bases. Austin Dubberly had his offense going, hitting a solid 3 for 6 at the dish with a double and a triple on the day. Newcomer Vincent Andrew once again did not disappoint. Head coach Chandler Rose knocking in 3 runs and scoring 1 while going 2 for 4 at the plate. Devin Davis went 1 1/3 inning to pick up his second win of the season.
On the 10th, the guys started a 3-game series with Delta State. Let's get straight to Game 2 of the series. The Falcons trailed the whole game going into the bottom of the 8th. They were down 6-5. Senior Blaine Rosenberg started the rally off for the Falcons with this shot over the center fielder's head, leading to a double. With 2 on, no outs, freshman Zach Willoughby, 3 for 5 on the day, gives the Falcons a 1-run lead off this 3-run homerooski. UM was not done though. Just 2 batters later, Chris Ross takes another 1 yard, giving the Falcons a 10-6 lead over Delta State. The top of the 9th was all bad for the Falcons though, as they gave up 11 runs and fell to the Statesmen 17-10.
It was a series to forget all around for the Falcons. Delta State dominated UM and gave one 24-3. Vincent Andrews smashed a home run, his only hit in Game 3. It was much of the same as the Statesmen beat the Falcons 20-4. UM committed 4 errors in the loss that dropped them to a 2-5 record so far on the year. Heath Peterson was 1 for 3 with a triple and an RBI and a run scored. Now let's head over to the tennis courts where the tennis team has started the 2012 season on a high note.
That's right. After rain put a damper on the Falcons' first match in Tuscaloosa, the ladies were ready to soar at home on the 10th. With definitive wins from team captain Helena Norgren and newcomer Nikki Polsarova, the Falcons rounded out the day with 2 more wins in the doubles, winning 6 and 3 overall over Clark Atlantic University. In hoops action, the men's basketball team continued their win streak over at Georgia Southwestern with senior DJ Rivera leading the pack. The Falcons kept it close throughout most of the game and sealed the deal with a second-half run to clinch the victory as 3 different Falcons scored 11 points and DJ Rivera fell just short of a double-double. The guys dominated the backboard, and in the final 7 minutes, the men outshot GSW 17-5 to take the victory. Their record improves to 18-6 overall and 9-4 in the Peach Belt Conference, which is still good for first place in the Western Division.
The women also took to the road to take on Georgia Southwestern. Trina Moore-Smith led the team with 14 points and 7 rebounds. She was followed by Taylor Beverly, who had 10 points and 5 rebounds. The women were not able to hang on and fell to their conference rival 69-51.
And now we welcome in former Falcon Fever anchor into the show. He has a special report for us. Coleman, what you been up to?
Well, just doing some packages for class here, trying to get a couple here on the show, so hopefully I'll have a couple more for you here in the next couple weeks.
Well, that's great.
So tell us a little bit about the one you're sharing with us today.
UM's athletic director, Jim Hurley, has come up with a mentorship program to help and guide student athletes through their time here at the university. The program's goal is to help them find a good balance between athletics and academics.
For students in college, life can be quite difficult. But if you add hours of practice, working out, and traveling to and from athletic events, it becomes much harder. One of Montevallo's starting basketball players and fellow mass communication student Javon Jackson knows this all too well.
Well, honestly, managing both things is pretty difficult. Nothing about it is easy, but, I put God first in everything I do, and, everything works out for the best.
Athletic Director Jim Hurley recently came up with a program to help ease some of the pressure felt by the student athletes.
Sure, we've started a new faculty staff team advisor program for the Department of Athletics, and what we're trying to do is be mindful of the role of athletics in regards to the academic and educational mission of the university.
The program has 9 faculty and staff members who will be advisors to the specific sports team that they are assigned. Mr. Hurley hopes that the program is successful for both the student athletes and the advisors.
Our hope is that the faculty and staff advisors will help provide that balance and allow the student athlete to be able to focus on the student portion of their lives, to be a resource for them for services that may be available on campus.
He also wants the advisors to be someone the athletes can call on for not just academic concerns, but any other concerns they might have. That way, they can get the most out of everything offered here at Montevallo.
Mr. Hurley encourages any other faculty and staff members who want to get involved to contact the athletic department.
Thank you, Coleman. The women's golf team is back in action this spring after a long layoff. Freshman sensation Ashley Beck continues to blaze a trail through the competition as she put on a decent performance to give UM their second best finish of the season. The Falcons came in 3rd place at the Coastal Georgia Invitational. Beck led UM shooting 19 over par on the weekend, just 9 strokes off the lead. Tracy Marshall chipped in a 25 over par score, while Megan Klein and Hillary Shaner followed closely behind.
Well, now it's time to take a look at the upcoming games, matches, and tournaments in the next week for Montevallo. On the 15th, the baseball team heads to North Alabama to take on the Chargers. Then on the 18th, the guys have an in-conference doubleheader against USC Aiken starting at noon. The guys stay the night Thursday in South Carolina as they take on Aiken one more time on Friday the 19th.
The women's tennis team has also been busy with their schedule. They take on Tuskegee away today, the 15th at 1 p.m. They go on the road to UAH the 18th and travel to Stillman on the 19th. Then at home on the 21st, the women face West Alabama. All of these matches are at 1 p.m.
The men and women's basketball team take on Columbus State on the road February 15th. The girls take the court at 4:30, followed by the men at 6:30. We'll have the results from those games on next week's show. Saturday, February 18th at 1:30, the women's basketball team is having their annual breast cancer awareness game called Play for K. They will be raising money by selling t-shirts and also with a silent auction. Proceeds will go to the K Yao Foundation. All breast cancer survivors get in the game for free and will be honored in a special halftime presentation. So contact Coach Cindy Hilbrick at hilbrick@montevallo.edu for details. The men play right after the women's game at 3:30.
The women's golf team will be back in action Tuesday, February 21st. They'll be taking part in the Ann Rhodes Invitational at Oxmoor Valley. They'll be swinging the clubs on the Robert Trent Jones course there in Birmingham, Alabama.
If you want more Falcon Fever throughout the week, you can interact with us online. You can watch current and past Falcon Fever episodes on YouTube. Just search Montevallo for you. You can also become a friend on Facebook where you can leave a comment, talk about recent games, or just give a shout out to one of your favorite players. You can also follow us on Twitter. Just search for Falcon Fever.
And as always, we love your feedback, both tweets and comments. And for extended sports coverage, team rosters, and lots of other Falcon sports news, go to MontevalloFalcons.com.
Well, Casey, that's all we got for them today. No more highlights, no more games.
That's right.
And I'd like to take this opportunity to give a special shout out to my mom, Karen Aarons, who week in and week out continues to comment. So we appreciate that, Mom. Thank you very much.
And I'd like to give one to my grandmother, who's always the first to like the link and share it with all of her friends. So thank you, Mama.
That's right.
That's all we have for today. I'm Casey Beasley.
I'm RJ Sievertsgaard.
We're out of here.